Hey guys, welcome back. And today I got a little Ron Burgundy um, modification to make. So I was thinking it's kind of inexpensive and it will help me be a little bit more consistent if I don't have to shift, if I had a solenoid. So I was looking at some shift solenoids. And they have electric ones and they have air powered ones. I figured while I already have CO2 on the car for boost control, I might as well use an air shifter. Clean off my lens there, it's kind of foggy. So what I have here is Shiftnoid's SA4000. And it's very simple. It's the bracket for the quarter stick that I have, the quarter stick shifter, the Hurst, the solenoid, the Mac valve. Actually, I guess that's probably not called the Mac valve, but whatever it is. And some 1/4 inch push to connect line. So I'm going to take the shifter out. I'm going to have to do something with that bracket that came with the kit, I think, because I have a rear exit cable on mine, so I might have to like do something right here to get that cable to come back through, because I think it's gonna like kink it and it's not gonna work. If I had a front exit shift cable, I wouldn't have to worry about it. And I couldn't find anything in the instructions regarding rear exit cable, but we'll just figure it out. So I'm gonna get this out of here and check in with you guys in a second. All right, I got the shifter out. I'm just checking the alignment on a couple of the mounting holes there on that base plate. So we got an issue, of course. This always happens, right? The rear exit cable, Hurst quarter stick, is not compatible with this Shiftnoid kit. So I don't know if they make a different one or what, but we're gonna make this, I'm gonna make it happen anyways. So this is supposed to lock in back here on this base. I spin that nut off of there and lock it in right there, but look at my gap here from the plunger to the shifter right now is all the way back. It's all the way in low gear. So I got a good 3 inches to make up there, which sucks. So I'm going to brainstorm for a second and see what I can do about moving this up here so that it's got the 1/8 inch gap I think they want. And I'll check back in with you guys. Alright, my workspace is a little messy here, but this is what I came up with. I ran to the hardware store and I just got some 1/8 inch thickness 1 inch flat bar. And I was going to weld it right to this base, but I wanted to make it removable in case I needed to take the cover off the quarter stick easily. So that's it. It's 2 1/4 inch little fastening screws there. And I got a washer in here to take up some of the distance between the plunger and the shifter arm. So I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to install it all in the car now and run the air to it and wire it, and then I'll show you guys how I'm going to set it up in the Holly. We can test it, see how it works. All right, got it wired and plumbed with CO2. I'm going to try to run the same pressure on the regulator to shift as I do boost control, because it would be nice to not have to run 2 regulators. But there's also, I have some adjustment right here. Whoops, sorry guys. This is adjustable, so I'm gonna get the Holly set up right now and then see if where this needs to be. Yeah, it looks good though. You guys remember this board? This one here is the Terminator X inputs and outputs. And then this is the I/O module inputs and the I/O module outputs. So all I did was I gave it 12 volts constant down here when the ignition's on. It's tied in also to the shift light, which I might delete that now, but anyway, 12 volt is all the time, and it's tied to an output on the I/O module. And that's safe. It's going to provide ground. And Holly says don't drive anything more than 2 amps. And that shift solenoid is 7 watts at 12 volts, which is like half an amp. So when the car's running at 14 plus volts, it'll be even less amperage. So we should be good to go. I'm going to plug the laptop in now and see if we can get it working. Guys, I got it working. I just have it set up right now to turn on. Oh, this won't focus, but it's TPS above 5%, just to test it. And I just started the car up. We got some coolant temp here, and the car will creep in low gear without the brake on, and when I give it a little throttle, it stops moving. So I know we're hitting second gear. And I know when I pull it back, I'm in first again. It seems like it kind of, I wish this had a little bit more throw to it, because to get it all the way down in first, the shifter wants to go a little further than that. We'll let it. But if I just give it a good positive down, it seems like it's working every single time, so we should be all right. And my regulator pressure is only probably 50 pounds or 60 pounds right now. Like, I can hold it. It's not a lot of pressure. I'll be excited to try that. Alright guys. So for now, I'm just going to leave it set up so that it will activate when RPM is above 7,500. And I have it on so that it will only stay on for half a second, so that it's not just trying to power that air solenoid for, you know, infinity. I will have to figure out a way to make it so what you don't want to have happen is, if you let go of the trans brake and you spin, it goes instantly to, say, the 7,500 I have it set to, and it shifts, and then I fucking double my wheel speed while I'm spinning. It could make it really uncontrollable, so I'll have to figure out a way to link it to the trans brake release, that it's not allowed to activate for, you know, 2 seconds or 2.5 or whatever. I'll have to look at my logs and see, and make that also a required trigger for it to be able to actuate. I just want to interject that there's probably some scenarios that I may find myself in down the track that I maybe don't want that thing to shift, and I am having a brain cramp on what they might be. But just keep that in mind, you guys, if you're setting this up for yourselves. Like, maybe if you only want it to shift when you're over 70% throttle position or something, as well as the RPM. Like, if you're pedaling it and you're losing it a little bit, you might not want it to shift. But the good thing is you can shift it manually still, no matter what. So it's not like that thing is glued to that solenoid and now you're not in control of it. So I don't know, follow along and see maybe in the future what I use for input triggers or, you know, time-based stuff with the shifter. It'll be something that we learn together. So yeah, just want to throw that in there. So that's it, you guys. We got the Shiftnoid air shift solenoid in Ron Burgundy, ready to keep both my hands on the wheel down the track and be more consistent. On some of the more slippery tracks, I'll probably hit that thing in the first 60 feet so that there's no RPM drop to upset the chassis or whatever, but still learning the car, and you know, it takes time to figure that stuff out. It's hard to figure out in 5 seconds, you know, while you're going on the track, but getting more acquainted with it. And thanks for following along, you guys. I'll see you soon.